Captain Jake Sullivan sat in his command chair aboard the ESV Guardian. The bridge was quiet except for the soft hum of the ship's engines. Outside the windows, stars sparkled like diamonds against the black of space. "Captain, we're getting a strange signal," said Lieutenant Amy Richardson from her station. She was the ship's best pilot and communication officer. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panel. Jake turned to look at her. "What kind of signal?" "It's coming from the outer rim, beyond the Council's monitored zones." Amy frowned at her screen. "Sir, this doesn't match any known alien technology. The signal pattern, it looks human. That was impossible. Humans had only been traveling through space for 50 years. They had never gone beyond the areas controlled by the Galactic Council. The Council made sure of that. Dr. Lisa Martinez looked up from her research station. She was a smart woman who studied alien artifacts and ancient civilizations. "Captain, may I see the signal?" Jake nodded. "Put it on the main screen." The front screen lit up with numbers and symbols. Most of it looked like gibberish, but hidden inside were coordinates. Coordinates that pointed to a location far from any known human colony. "This is incredible," Lisa said, her eyes wide with excitement. "The mathematical structure is definitely human, but the encoding method is far more advanced than anything we use today." Commander Steve Adams, Jake's tactical officer, crossed his arms. "Could be a trap. The Council species are clever. They might be trying to lure us into their territory." Jake thought about this. The Galactic Council controlled most of known space. They allowed humans to have a few colonies, but always watched them closely. Humans were considered a young and weak species by the galaxy's standards. "Amy, how far is this location?" Jake asked. "About 2 weeks' travel at maximum speed, sir. It's in completely empty space. No planets, no stations, nothing." Dr. Martinez stepped forward. "Captain, we have to investigate this. If there's even a chance that other humans are out there, or were out there in the past, we need to know." Jake made his decision. "Set course for Earth. We need to report this to Admiral Harrison first." The journey back to Earth took 3 days. Jake spent most of that time thinking about the signal. How could it be human? Humans had barely left their solar system when they met the Galactic Council. The Council had given them space travel technology and welcomed them as junior members. At Earth's orbital station, Jake met with Admiral Pete Harrison. The Admiral was an older man with gray hair and sharp eyes. He had been fighting for human rights in the galaxy for decades. "Show me this signal," the Admiral said. Jake and Lisa presented their findings. The Admiral listened carefully, asking questions about the signal's origin and meaning. "The coordinates point to a location that's not on any Council star maps," Lisa explained. "It's in what they call dead space, areas they claim have nothing of value." Admiral Harrison was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke. "Captain Sullivan, I'm giving you permission to investigate. But this mission is classified. The Council cannot know about this." "Sir, why the secrecy?" Jake asked. "Because," the Admiral said grimly, "if the Council discovers that humans might have been in space longer than they told us, it could change everything. Take Dr. Martinez and your best crew. Find out what's sending that signal." 2 days later, the ESV Guardian left Earth's solar system. The crew was small but skilled. Besides Jake, Amy, Lisa, and Steve, there was Chief Engineer Ben Carter and Dr. Kate Morgan, the ship's medical officer. The journey took exactly 2 weeks. As they traveled further from known space, the crew grew more nervous. They were going where no human ship had gone before. "Approaching the coordinates now, Captain," Amy reported. "I'm not seeing anything on sensors." "Keep scanning," Jake ordered. "The signal came from here." For hours, they searched the empty space. There were no planets, no asteroids, nothing but darkness and distant stars. Then Ben Carter made a discovery. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange. There's a gravity field here, but I can't see what's causing it." Lisa worked with the ship's computers. "I think there's something here that's hiding itself. Some kind of advanced camouflage technology." Jake felt his heart beating faster. "Can we break through it?" "Maybe," Ben said. "If I adjust our sensors to look for gravitational distortions." The main screen flickered, slowly like a ghost becoming. Solid, a massive shape appeared in front of them. The crew stared in shock. Floating in space was a warship unlike anything they had ever seen. It was enormous, at least 5 times larger than their own ship. Its design was sleek and deadly, with weapons that looked far more advanced than anything the Council used. But the most shocking thing was the markings on its hull. They were human letters and numbers written in English. "ESV Destroyer," Amy read aloud. That's a human ship." Dr. Martinez was already scanning the vessel. "The metal composition matches human industrial standards, but the design—" "Jake, this ship is old, very old. The materials show signs of being in space for thousands of years." Jake's mind raced. Thousands of years? Humans had only been in space for 50 years. How is this possible? Life signs? He asked. Kate checked her medical scanners. None. The ship appears to be completely dead. Steve was studying the weapons systems. "Captain, the armament on that thing? It's beyond anything I've ever seen. Those aren't just weapons. I don't even know what to call them." Jake made another decision that would change everything. Prepare a boarding party. We're going aboard. An hour later, Jake, Lisa, Ben, and Kate stood in the docking bay of the ancient human warship. Their suits' lights cut through the darkness as they moved through corridors that had been empty for millennia. The ship's design was clearly human, but far more advanced than anything from Earth. The walls were covered with writing in several human languages, including some that looked very old. "The technology here is incredible," Ben whispered as they walked. "The power systems, the hull materials, everything is centuries ahead of what we have now." They reached what appeared to be the bridge. Lisa found a control panel and carefully tried to activate it. Nothing happened at first. Then suddenly, the entire ship came to life. Lights turned on throughout the vessel. Computer screens flickered and displayed information in dozens of human languages. And then, a voice spoke from the ship's communication system. "Welcome aboard the ESV Destroyer," the voice said in perfect English. "I am Oracle, the ship's artificial intelligence. I have been waiting for humans to return for 3,412 years." The boarding party stood frozen in shock. Jake was the first to find his voice. Oracle ... "How long have you been here?" "I have been guarding this vessel since the final battle of the Great War," Oracle replied. "A war that nearly destroyed humanity. A war that your species has forgotten, but which the galaxy remembers very well." Jake stared at the glowing screens around him. The ship's artificial intelligence, Oracle, had been waiting for over 3,000 years. The thought made his head spin. "Oracle, what great war are you talking about?" Dr. Lisa Martinez asked. She pulled out her recording device to capture everything. "The war between humanity and the Galactic Alliance," Oracle replied. The ship's holographic display activated, showing images of space battles. "Your ancestors were the most advanced species in the galaxy. They had technology that could bend reality itself." The images showed human ships fighting against alien vessels. But these weren't the small human ships that Jake knew. These were massive warships with weapons that seemed to tear holes in space itself. "That's impossible," Ben Carter said. "Humans only learned to travel in space 50 years ago. The Council taught us everything." Oracle's voice carried what sounded like sadness. The Council has lied to you. They have hidden your true history. Humanity once ruled half the galaxy. You were feared and respected by every alien species. Lisa was studying the historical data that appeared on the screens. Oracle, why did this war happen? Because the alien species discovered humanity's potential, Oracle explained. They learned that humans were evolving faster than any other race. In time, humans would surpass them all. So they formed a secret alliance to destroy humanity before that could happen. More images appeared. They showed human colonies burning, families running for their lives, and great human cities being destroyed from space. Jake felt sick to his stomach. They committed genocide? They tried to, Oracle said. But some humans escaped. They hid in the far reaches of space and continued to develop their technology. This ship, the Destroyer, was built during the final years of the war. Ben was examining the ship's systems with his engineering tools. Captain, the technology here is incredible. The power source alone could run a small city for centuries. And these weapons. He shook his head. I've never seen anything like them. Dr. Kate Morgan had been quiet, but now she spoke up. Oracle, what happened to the humans who built this ship? They sacrificed themselves in the final battle, Oracle said. They knew they could not win against the entire galaxy. So they chose to hide their technology and their knowledge, hoping that someday their descendants would find it. The ship's computers began displaying technical information. Jake saw designs for weapons that could destroy entire fleets, shields that could protect against any attack, and engines that could travel faster than anything in the known galaxy. Why are you showing us this? Jake asked. Because history is repeating itself, Oracle replied. The Galactic Council is the same alliance that tried to destroy humanity before. They still fear you. They still watch you. And when they discover your true potential, they will try to finish what they started. Lisa was recording everything. Oracle, do other ships like this exist? Yes. Hidden throughout the galaxy are dozens of human ships and bases. Each one contains technology that could change the balance of power. But they will only activate for true humans who prove themselves worthy. Amy Richardson's voice came through their communication devices. She was still on the Guardian, monitoring their mission. Captain, I'm detecting some unusual readings from the Destroyer. It's like the ship is scanning me. Oracle responded to Amy directly. Pilot Richardson, please approach the docking bay. I need to test your compatibility with our systems. Jake didn't like the sound of that. What kind of compatibility? Ancient humans modified themselves to interface directly with their technology, Oracle explained. The genetic modifications are dormant in modern humans, but they can be awakened. Some humans are more compatible than others. Against Jake's better judgment, Amy joined them on the Destroyer. When she stepped onto the bridge, the ship's systems began to react. Lights grew brighter, and computer screens displayed new information. Remarkable, Oracle said. Pilot Richardson has strong compatibility. With her help, I can bring all of the ship's systems online. Amy looked nervous. What does that mean exactly? It means you can control the ship with your thoughts, Oracle explained. You can access its full power. But there is a risk. The neural connection changes you. Makes you more than human, but also less human in some ways. Ben was studying the technical readouts. Captain, if what Oracle is saying is true, this ship could take on the entire Galactic Council fleet and win. Jake felt the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. Oracle, why should we trust you? How do we know this isn't some kind of trap? Because, Oracle said, your species is already in danger. The Council's monitoring stations have detected this ship's activation. Even now, they are sending ships to investigate. As if to prove Oracle's point, Amy's communication device crackled to life. Captain Sullivan, this is the Guardian. I'm detecting multiple ships approaching our position. They're flying Council flags. Jake's heart raced. They were trapped in the middle of nowhere with alien warships approaching. How long until they arrive? He asked. 6 hours, sir, Amy reported from the Guardian. Oracle's voice became urgent. Captain Sullivan, you must make a choice. You can try to run in your small ship and hope the Council believes your story. Or you can use the destroyer to defend yourselves. But using this ship would prove everything you've told us, Lisa said. It would confirm that humans have advanced technology. Yes, Oracle agreed. And it would start the war all over again. But this time, humanity has a chance to win. Jake looked around at his crew. Ben was fascinated by the technology. Lisa was excited by the historical discovery. Kate looked worried about the consequences. And Amy? Amy was staring at a neural interface port with a mixture of fear and curiosity. What are our options? Jake asked. Oracle displayed tactical information. The approaching fleet consists of 12 Council warships. Your Guardian cannot outrun them or outfight them, but the destroyer can defeat them easily. And if we do that, then the galaxy will know that humanity has returned to its full power. The Council will declare you a threat. Other species will choose sides. The war will begin again. Jake closed his eyes and thought about Earth, about the billions of humans who had no idea their ancestors were once the most powerful species in the galaxy, about the peaceful life humanity had built under the Council's protection. But it wasn't really protection, was it? It was control. The Council had been keeping humanity weak and dependent. Amy, Jake said finally, can you interface with the ship's systems safely? Amy nodded slowly. Oracle says the risk is minimal for a short connection. I can bring the weapons online without a permanent neural link. Sir, Steve Adams' voice came through their communicators. The Council ships are moving faster than expected. 4 hours until they arrive. Jake made his decision. Amy, connect with the ship. Lisa, download everything you can from Oracle's database. Ben, figure out how to transfer some of this technology to the Guardian. Kate, monitor Amy's vital signs during the interface. And what are you going to do, Captain? Ben asked. Jake looked out at the stars through the ancient bridge's windows. Somewhere out there, Council warships were racing toward them, ready to destroy them to keep humanity's secrets buried. I'm going to contact Admiral Harrison, Jake said. Humanity needs to know the truth about its history, and we need to prepare for war. Amy approached the neural interface port. It looked like a helmet made of metal and crystal. Oracle, what will I experience? You will become one with the ship, Oracle said. You will feel its power, understand its capabilities, and control its weapons. But Amy, once you make this connection, you will never be quite the same. Amy picked up the neural helmet. Captain, are you sure about this? Jake nodded grimly. Do it. It's time humanity remembered who we really are. As Amy placed the helmet on her head, the entire ship came alive. Power flowed through systems that had been dormant for millennia. Weapons that could reshape reality itself began to charge. And somewhere in the darkness of space, Council warships continued their approach, unaware that they were about to face the most dangerous human weapon ever created. Amy's eyes rolled back as the neural helmet connected to her brain. For a moment, Jake thought something had gone wrong. Then her eyes opened, and they were glowing with a soft blue light. I can feel everything, Amy whispered. Her voice sounded different, like it was coming from far away. The ship, the stars, the approaching Council fleet. Captain, this ship is alive. Jake watched the main display as systems throughout the destroyer came online. Weapons that had been dormant for thousands of years began to charge with deadly energy. "Amy, are you still you?" Dr. Kate Morgan asked, checking her medical scanner. Amy turned to look at her. The blue glow in her eyes was fading, but her expression was changed. "I'm still me, Kate, but I'm also more. I can see through the ship's sensors. I know exactly where the Council ships are and what weapons they carry." Oracle's voice filled the bridge. "The neural connection is stable. Pilot Richardson now has access to all ship functions. Captain Sullivan, a Council fleet will arrive in 2 hours." Jake opened his communication channel to the Guardian. "Steve, transfer our essential data to the Guardian and prepare to undock. If this goes wrong, someone needs to get back to Earth with the truth." "Sir, I'm not leaving you here," Commander Adams replied. "That's an order," Jake said firmly. "Undock now and maintain a safe distance." Through the ship's new sensors, Amy could see everything happening around them. "The Guardian is clear, Captain." "And Jake, the Council ships aren't alone. There's something else out there. Something big." A main screen showed 12 Council warships approaching in battle formation. But behind them, partially hidden in the shadow of a distant asteroid, was a massive vessel that looked like a floating city. "Oracle, what is that large ship?" Lisa asked. "A Council judgment vessel," Oracle replied grimly. "They only bring those when they intend to completely destroy something. Captain, they're not here to capture you. They're here to eliminate all evidence that advanced human technology exists." Jake felt his blood turn cold. The Council wasn't just trying to stop them from spreading the truth. It wanted to erase them completely. "Amy, what are our capabilities?" he asked. Amy's hands moved over the control panels, her movements guided by the ship's systems. "Captain, this ship has weapons that can bend space and time. It has shields that exist in multiple dimensions. And it has engines that can move us anywhere in the galaxy instantly. But using any of those abilities will prove that humans have technology beyond anything the Council knows about," Lisa said. Jake nodded. "Which means we'll start a war." "Sir," Amy said, her voice still carrying that strange distant quality, "the war never ended. The Council has been fighting it for 3,000 years by keeping humanity weak and ignorant. They've just been winning so completely that we didn't know we were at war." The approaching Council ships began to spread out in an attack formation. Jake could see them clearly now on the main display. They were sleek, deadly vessels armed with plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes. A communication signal came from the lead Council ship. Jake accepted it, and the screen filled with the image of an alien commander. The creature had blue skin, 4 arms, and cold, calculating eyes. "Human vessel," the alien said in accented English. "You are in violation of galactic law. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." Jake stepped forward. "I'm Captain Jake Sullivan of the Earth Defense Force. We're conducting a legal salvage operation in unclaimed space." The alien commander's expression didn't change. "There is no legal salvage. Here, the vessel you have boarded is forbidden technology. You will surrender it to the Council immediately." "And if we refuse?" Jake asked, though he already knew the answer. "Then you will be destroyed to protect galactic security." The communication ended. Jake turned to his crew. "Well, there it is. They're not even pretending this is about law anymore." Ben Carter was studying the tactical displays. "Captain, our shields are already stronger than anything those ships can throw at us, and our weapons. One shot from our main guns could destroy their entire fleet. But the moment we fire, every species in the galaxy will know that humans have weapons that can challenge the Council," Lisa said. Amy's glowing eyes focused on Jake. "Captain, Oracle is showing me something. The Council has been planning this for decades. They have a list of human colonies they plan to destroy once they eliminate the advanced technology. They call it Final Solution Protocol." Jake's hands clenched into fists. They're planning genocide. Again. The first council ships are charging. Their weapons, Amy reported. Impact in 30 seconds. Jake had to make a choice that would affect the entire human race. Let the council destroy them and keep humanity ignorant and weak, or fight back and start a war that could consume the galaxy. Amy, can you disable their ships without destroying them? Amy's fingers danced over the controls. Yes, Captain. The destroyer has precision weapons that can target their power systems. Do it. The destroyer's weapons fired for the first time in 3,000 years. But instead of the massive explosions Jake expected, thin beams of blue energy reached out and touched each council ship. The alien vessels immediately went dark, their engines shutting down and their weapons powering off. What did you do? Jake asked. I disrupted their quantum power cores, Amy explained. They're not destroyed, just disabled. They'll drift in space until someone rescues them. But Jake's relief was short-lived. The massive judgment vessel emerged from behind the asteroid, its weapons charging with enough power to destroy a small moon. That ship is different, Oracle warned. It has reality-warping defenses. It won't be disabled as easily. The judgment vessel fired. A beam of white energy struck the destroyer's shields, and the entire ship shook. But the shields held. Their weapon is designed to erase matter at the quantum level, Amy said, her voice now completely calm despite the attack. But our shields exist in multiple dimensions. They can't destroy what they can't fully target. Jake watched as the alien ship prepared to fire again. Amy, if we have to destroy that ship to survive, will you do it? Amy was quiet for a moment. Through the neural link, she could feel the thousands of alien crew members on the Judgment vessel. They were following orders, believing they were protecting the galaxy from a human threat. Captain, she said finally, I don't want to kill them, but they're not going to stop. And if we don't stop them, they'll return to Earth with a full invasion fleet. The Judgment vessel fired again. This time, multiple beams struck the destroyer from different angles. The ship shook more violently, and warning lights began flashing on the bridge. Shields at 90%, Amy reported. But Captain, I'm detecting something else. They're not just trying to destroy us. They're scanning us, learning about our technology. Oracle's voice carried a note of alarm. If they learn how human technology works, they'll develop countermeasures. They'll use that knowledge to destroy any other hidden human technology they find. Jake realized the true scope of the threat. It wasn't just about this battle. If the Council learned the secrets of human technology, they could hunt down every hidden human base and ship. They could complete the genocide they'd started 3,000 years ago. Amy, use whatever weapons you need to. Stop them from learning our secrets. Amy's hands moved over the controls with inhuman speed, charging the reality cannon. Captain, this weapon doesn't just destroy matter. It rewrites the fundamental laws of physics in a localized area. Once I fire it, there's no hiding what we are anymore. The Judgment vessel fired a third time, and Jake felt the destroyer shake under the impact. Sparks flew from control panels, and the lights flickered. Shields at 70%, Amy reported. Their weapons are adapting to our defenses. Jake made his final decision. Fire the reality cannon. Amy's eyes blazed with blue light as she activated the destroyer's most powerful weapon. A sphere of pure energy formed in front of the ship, then expanded outward at incredible speed. When it reached the Judgment vessel, the massive alien ship simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed, not vaporized, but erased from reality as if it had never been there at all. The disabled Council ships detected the energy signature and began transmitting emergency signals throughout the galaxy. Within minutes, Every major civilization would know that humanity possessed reality-warping weapons. "It's done," Amy said, her voice returning to normal as she disconnected from the ship's systems. "The galaxy knows we're back." Jake slumped in. The captain's chair. "Oracle, what happens now?" "Now, Captain Sullivan, the second war for humanity's survival begins. But this time, humanity has a chance to win." In the distance, Jake could see the lights of Council emergency ships approaching to rescue the disabled vessels. Soon, they would carry the news of humanity's return to every corner of the galaxy. The age of human weakness was over. The age of human power had begun. 3 weeks after the battle with the Council fleet, the galaxy was in chaos. The news of humanity's return had spread to every civilized world. Some species called for immediate war against humans. Others quietly began reaching out to human colonies, offering secret alliances. Captain Jake Sullivan stood on the bridge of the destroyer, watching reports from across known space. The ship had become the center of a growing rebellion against the Galactic Council. "Captain, we're receiving another transmission from Earth," Amy Richardson said. She was back to normal now, though her eyes still held a distant look from her. Connection with the ship's systems. Admiral Harrison's face appeared on the main screen. Behind him, Jake could see the busy command center of Earth's defense headquarters. "Jake, the situation here is getting worse," the Admiral said. "The Council has demanded that we turn over the destroyer and everyone who's been aboard it. They're threatening to place Earth under blockade if we refuse." Jake wasn't surprised. "What's our response?" "Officially, we're still trying to negotiate. Unofficially, we're preparing for war." The Admiral's expression was grim. "Jake, we need that ship. Without it, humanity doesn't stand a chance against the full Council fleet." Dr. Lisa Martinez looked up from her research station. "Admiral, we've discovered something important. Oracle has been in contact with other hidden human facilities. There are dozens of them scattered throughout the galaxy." "What kind of facilities?" The Admiral asked. Lisa activated a holographic map showing the galaxy. Red dots appeared in dozens of locations. Weapon caches, automated shipyards, research stations. The ancient humans prepared for this day. They left behind everything we need to fight back. Oracle's voice joined the conversation. "Admiral Harrison, the facilities will only activate for humans who prove themselves worthy. Captain Sullivan and his crew have done so by awakening the destroyer. Now other sites are coming online." Amy pulled up tactical displays. "Sir, we're not just talking about weapons. Some of these facilities can build entire fleets of ships, like the destroyer. Others contain research that could advance human technology by centuries." The Admiral was quiet for a moment, processing this information. "How long would it take to activate these facilities?" "That depends on how quickly we can reach them," Jake said. "But Admiral, we need to be careful. Every facility we activate will attract Council attention. They'll try to destroy them before we can use them. Then we need to move fast," the Admiral decided. "Jake, I'm putting you in command of the Liberation mission. Your job is to activate as many facilities as possible while we prepare Earth's defenses." Ben Carter had been studying the engineering data from Oracle. "Captain, there's something else you should know. The ancient humans didn't just build weapons. They also created something called the network." "What's the network?" Jake asked. Oracle answered. "The network is a galaxy-wide communication and coordination system. It connects all human facilities and can even reach individual humans who carry the right genetic markers. Once fully activated, it will allow humanity to coordinate as a single force across the entire galaxy." Dr. Kate Morgan looked concerned. "What about the risks?" "Connecting every human to a single network sounds dangerous." "The network is voluntary," Oracle explained. "It enhances human capabilities, but doesn't control them. Think of it as giving every human access to the combined knowledge and skills of the entire species. A new alarm sounded on the bridge. Amy quickly checked her sensors. "Captain, we have company. Multiple council fleets are converging on our position." The main screen showed dozens of alien ships approaching from several directions. This wasn't like the small fleet they'd faced before. This was a full invasion force. "How many ships?" Jake asked. "Over 200, Amy replied. "They're not taking any chances this time." Oracle provided tactical analysis. "Captain, even the destroyer cannot fight that many ships alone. We need to retreat and begin activating the other facilities." Jake made a quick decision. "Amy, can you plot a course to the nearest human facility?" "Already done," Amy said. "It's a shipyard facility 3 light years from here. But Captain, the Council fleet will follow us." "That's what I'm counting on," Jake said with a grim smile. "If we can reach the shipyard and activate it, we might be able to level the odds." The destroyer's engines powered up, and the ship disappeared in a flash of blue light. The ancient human faster-than-light technology was far superior to anything the Council used. By the time the alien ships reached the destroyer's last position, it was already gone. The human shipyard was hidden inside a hollow asteroid. From the outside, it looked like any other piece of space rock. But when the destroyer approached, the asteroid split open like a flower, revealing a massive construction facility inside. "Incredible," Ben breathed. "This place could build 100 ships like the destroyer." Oracle began activating the shipyard systems. The facility has been running on automatic maintenance for 3,000 years. It will take 6 hours to bring all systems online. "We don't have 6 hours," Amy said, checking her sensors. "The Council fleet is only 2 hours behind us." Jake thought quickly. "Oracle, how many ships can this facility produce in 2 hours? With current resources, perhaps 20 small fighters." "But Captain, there is another option. This facility also houses a completed battleship that was never deployed." The asteroid's interior lit up, revealing a ship that dwarfed even the destroyer. It was sleek and deadly, with weapons that looked like they could crack planets. "The HFY Annihilator," Oracle said. "The most powerful warship ever built by humanity." It was completed just as the ancient war ended. Jake stared at the massive ship. "Can we crew it?" "The ship is fully automated, but it works best with a human commander connected to its systems," Oracle explained. "However, the neural connection required is much deeper than what Pilot Richardson experienced. It would be permanent." Amy stepped forward. "I'll do it." "Amy, no," Jake said immediately. "We don't know what that would do to you." "Captain, we don't have a choice," Amy replied. "That Council fleet will destroy this facility and everything in it. Someone has to make the sacrifice." Dr. Morgan ran her medical scanners over the Annihilator's neural interface systems. "Jake, the connection would fundamentally change Amy's brain structure. She might not be human anymore when it's done." Amy looked at her friends and crewmates. "I'll still be me. Just ... more. And right now, humanity needs more." The Council fleet was getting closer. Jake could see their ships on the long-range sensors, racing toward the hidden shipyard. "There has to be another way," Jake said desperately. Oracle provided an alternative. "Captain Sullivan, you could connect with the Annihilator yourself. Your leadership abilities combined with the ship's power could be even more effective." "No," Amy said firmly. "Jake, humanity needs you to remain human, to lead people, not machines. This is my choice." Before Jake could stop her, Amy ran toward the Annihilator. The massive ship's docking bay opened, and she disappeared inside. Minutes later, the Annihilator began to move. Its engines created a light show that filled the entire asteroid. The ship emerged from the facility like a sleeping giant awakening. Amy's voice came through the communication system, but it sounded different now. More powerful, more distant. "Captain, I can feel the Council ships approaching. 237 vessels, including 5 judgment ships. Amy, are you still you?" Jake asked. There was a pause. Then Amy's laugh came through the speakers. And for a moment, she sounded like her old self. "I'm still me, Jake, but now I'm also the most dangerous ship in the galaxy." The Council fleet arrived just as the Annihilator cleared the asteroid field. The alien commanders probably expected to find the destroyer hiding behind a rock. Instead, they found themselves facing a ship that looked like it had been built by gods. The battle that followed would be remembered throughout galactic history. The Annihilator moved through the Council fleet like a knife through paper. Its weapons didn't just destroy ships, they erased them from existence. Its shields didn't just deflect attacks, they sent them back at the attacker's dot in less than an hour. The entire Council fleet was gone. 237 of the galaxy's most advanced warships, including 5 planet killers, had been defeated by a single human vessel dot as the last enemy ship was destroyed. Amy's voice filled the communication channels throughout the galaxy. Every species, every planet, every space station heard her message. "This is Amy Richardson of the human warship Annihilator. For 3,000 years, the Galactic Council has lied to you about humanity. They have told you that we are weak, primitive, and need their protection. Today, that lie ends." Images from the battle were broadcast across the galaxy. Alien leaders watched in horror as their most powerful fleet was destroyed by technology they couldn't understand. Amy's broadcast continued. "Humanity offers peace to all species who wish it, but to those who threaten human worlds or try to continue the genocide that began 3,000 years ago, know this: we remember everything. We have returned, and we will not be victims again." The message ended, but its impact was immediate. Across the galaxy, species that had been oppressed by the Council began to revolt. The Zelani, who had been forced into slavery, declared their independence. The Korvash, whose worlds had been strip-mined for conch. 70 hours after Amy's broadcast, the largest fleet in galactic history approached the Nexus system. But it wasn't the Council fleet that everyone expected. It was humanity's fleet, supported by dozens of alien species that had joined the rebellion. Captain Jake Sullivan stood on the bridge of the destroyer, watching the tactical display. Around his ship flew 43 other vessels that had emerged from hidden human facilities across the galaxy. Each ship was a masterpiece of ancient human engineering, armed with weapons that could reshape reality itself. "Final count, Amy?" Jake asked, speaking to the Annihilator through the network connection. Amy's voice came back, still carrying that strange mix of human warmth and machine precision. 312 ships in our fleet, Jake. 51 are human vessels. The rest are our new allies. The Zelani had brought their stealth ships, invisible to most sensors. The Korvash contributed their massive cargo vessels, converted into mobile weapons platforms. The Threnody offered their medical ships, essential for treating wounded from dozens of different species. Dr. Lisa Martinez was coordinating the intelligence reports from their alien allies. "The Nexus system defenses are incredible," she reported. 5,000 Council ships, plus orbital defense platforms around every planet. Ben Carter studied the engineering data. "But Captain, their weapons are all based on technology that's thousands of years behind ours. They might have more ships, but each of our vessels is worth 100 of theirs." Dr. Kate Morgan was monitoring the network connections throughout. "The human fleet, the evolutionary changes are accelerating. Human crews are interfacing with their ships better than we thought possible. Some of them don't even need neural helmets anymore." Jake nodded. Over the past 3 days, he had felt the changes in himself too. His thinking was faster, clearer. He could process tactical information that would have overwhelmed him before. A network was making every human more than they had been. Oracle, status report on the Galaxy Cleanser? The weapon is at 95% charge, Oracle replied. From multiple ships simultaneously. If it fires, Earth's sun will go supernova within hours. Jake opened a channel to Admiral Harrison on Earth. The Admiral's image appeared, but he looked different now. His eyes held the same enhanced awareness that Jake was feeling. Admiral, how are the evacuations going? We've moved 3 billion. People to the outer colonies, Harrison replied. But Jake, we can't save everyone. If that weapon fires? It won't, Jake said with certainty he didn't entirely feel. We're going to stop it. The human fleet dropped out of faster than light. Travel at the edge of the Nexus system. Immediately, alarms began sounding on council ships throughout the system. Chancellor Vexstar of the Krillian Empire appeared on communication screens throughout the human fleet. His 4 arms gestured angrily as he spoke. Human fleet, you are trespassing in council space. Retreat immediately or face destruction. Jake opened a return channel. Chancellor, we're here to stop you from committing genocide. Shut down the Galaxy Cleanser, and we can talk about peace. Vexstar's laugh was cold and cruel. There will be no peace with humans. Your species is a cancer that must be cut out before it spreads. The Galaxy Cleanser will fire in 2 hours. Use that time to say goodbye to your world. The communication ended. Jake turned to his crew. Well, diplomacy is over. Amy, begin the attack. What followed was unlike any battle in galactic history. The human ships moved through space like living things, their reality warping drives allowing them to appear and disappear at will. Their weapons didn't just destroy enemy vessels. They erased them from existence or sent them backwards in time. The Annihilator led the charge. Amy's consciousness distributed throughout its systems. She fought with the precision of a computer and the creativity of a human artist. Council ships tried to surround her, only to find themselves fighting empty space as she phased into other dimensions. Jake, I'm reading massive power buildup from the Galaxy Cleanser, she reported during the battle. They're accelerating the firing sequence. Jake made a desperate decision. All ships, concentrate on the weapon platform. Ignore everything else. A human fleet changed course, racing toward the massive space station where the Galaxy Cleanser was housed. Council ships tried to intercept them, but the ancient human technology was too advanced. Ships phased through solid matter, traveled through folded space, and struck with weapons that Council shields couldn't stop. But as they approached the weapon platform, Jake realized the true scope of the trap. The Galaxy Cleanser wasn't just aimed at Earth. It was aimed at every human colony in known space. They're going to destroy all of us at once, Lisa said in horror. Oracle's voice carried a note of urgency. Captain, the weapon is designed to create a cascade effect. Each destroyed star will destabilize neighboring systems. They're planning to eliminate not just humanity, but any species that might carry human genetic material. Jake felt the weight of billions of lives on his shoulders. How do we stop it? Amy's voice came through the network, speaking directly into his mind. Jake, I can stop it, but I'll have to interface directly with the weapon's core systems. The energy feedback will destroy my consciousness. No, Jake said immediately. There has to be another way. There is, Oracle said quietly. The network can be used to distribute the feedback across all human ships. Instead of one person dying, everyone would share the burden. But the neural strain might change humanity forever. Dr. Morgan looked up from her medical scanners. Change us how? The feedback would accelerate the evolutionary process. Every human connected to the network would become something new, more intelligent, more capable, but also less traditionally human. Jake looked around at his crew. Lisa was analyzing data faster than any computer. Ben was interfacing with ship systems using only his thoughts. Kate was monitoring biological processes across dozens of species simultaneously. "We're already changing," he said. "The question is whether we change on our own terms or die as we are." The galaxy cleansers charging sequence reached critical levels. In minutes, it would fire, and human civilization would end. Amy's voice filled the network connection shared by every human in the fleet. "Everyone needs to decide. We can try to evacuate and hope we're fast enough, or we can embrace what we're becoming and save the galaxy." The response was immediate. Across the fleet, human crews began connecting to the network at deeper levels. Pilots merged with their ship's systems. Engineers became one with their engines. Soldiers interfaced directly with their weapons. Jake felt the change beginning in himself. His consciousness expanded beyond his body, connecting with every human in the fleet. For a moment, he was Amy flying the Annihilator, Lisa processing intelligence data, Ben managing power systems across dozens of ships. "Now," Amy said through the collective consciousness, the human fleet moved as one organism. Every ship fired simultaneously at the galaxy cleanser, their combined weapons creating a beam of pure energy that pierced the weapon's defenses. Amy, supported by the consciousness of every human in the fleet, reached into the weapon's core systems and began the shutdown sequence. The feedback was enormous. Energy that could have destroyed solar systems flowed back through the network. But instead of killing anyone, it transformed them. Human DNA rewrote itself in real time. Brains developed new structures. Bodies adapted to survive in environments that would have been deadly before. When the light faded, the galaxy cleanser was a lifeless hulk. The Council fleet, seeing their ultimate weapon destroyed, began to retreat. But they were no longer facing the same humans who had entered the system. Jake opened his eyes and found that he could see across multiple dimensions. His thoughts moved at the speed of light through the network. He was still human, but he was also something more. "Status report," he said, and the words carried across the entire fleet instantly. "Galaxy cleanser destroyed," Amy reported. "Council, fleet retreating. Human casualties ... 0. Jake realized what that meant. No human had died, but in a sense, old humanity had ended. What they had become was something new. Over the following months, the transformation spread to every human in the galaxy. The network connected them all, sharing knowledge, abilities, and experiences. Children were born with capabilities that would have seemed impossible before. Scientists made discoveries that advanced human technology by centuries in weeks. Galactic Council tried to resist, but they were fighting an enemy that could think faster, move through dimensions, and coordinate across vast distances instantly. One by one, Council species either surrendered or asked to join the new galactic order. Jake, now Admiral of the Free Galaxy Alliance, stood on the bridge of the destroyer, watching the construction of New Geneva, a space station that would serve as the capital of a truly free galaxy. Around him, humans and aliens worked together as equals for the first time in thousands of years. Amy's consciousness had evolved beyond the need for a physical body. She existed throughout the network now, helping to coordinate the vast project of rebuilding galactic civilization. But she still spoke to Jake in the voice he remembered. "Do you regret it?" she asked him one day as they watched a Krillian delegation arrive to negotiate peace terms. Jake thought about the question. Humanity had gained incredible power, but they had also lost Summit. Dr. Lisa Morgan stared at the computer screen with tired eyes. She had been working for 18 hours straight in the underground lab in Nevada. The numbers on her screen showed something that should not be possible. Her hands shook as she checked the data one more time. "Kevin, come look at this," She called to her research partner. Across the room, Dr. Kevin Chun rolled his chair over to her desk. His coffee mug was empty, and his shirt was wrinkled from the long night of work. "What did you find?" Lisa pointed at the screen. "The magnetic field is holding. The antimatter particles are staying contained for over 6 hours now. That's never happened before." Kevin's eyes went wide. For 3 years, they had been trying to contain antimatter long enough to use it as fuel. Every other attempt had failed within minutes. The tiny particles would escape and destroy whatever they touched. But now, somehow, it was working. "Are you sure the sensors are working right?" Kevin asked. Lisa nodded. "I checked them 5 times. The containment field is stable." "We did it, Kevin. We actually did it." "In the hallway outside the lab, Captain." Jake Sullivan was drinking his morning coffee. He was the military man assigned to watch over the antimatter project. Most days, he just sat around waiting for the scientists to blow something up. Today felt different, though. He could hear excited voices coming from the lab. Jake knocked on the door and walked in. "Everything okay in here?" "You two sound pretty worked up." "More than okay," Lisa said, her voice filled with excitement. "We've contained antimatter for 6 hours. That's longer than anyone has ever done it." Jake set down his coffee cup. He did not understand all the science, but he knew. This was important. "What does that mean exactly?" "It means we might be able to build engines that use antimatter as fuel," Kevin explained. "Ships that could travel faster than anything we've ever made." Jake felt his heart beat faster. For decades, humans had been stuck using fusion engines. That barely got them to Mars in reasonable time. Meanwhile, alien races zipped around the galaxy with technology that made human ships look like toys. "How much faster?" Jake asked. Lisa smiled. "If we can build a working engine, we could reach the outer planets in days instead of months. Maybe even travel to other star systems." Jake picked up his phone and called Director Paul Williams. The director was probably still asleep, but this could not wait. "Paul, you need to get down here right now," Jake said when the director answered. "Lisa and Kevin have done something amazing." 30 minutes later, Director Williams rushed into the lab. He was still wearing his pajamas under his coat. His gray hair was messy, and his glasses were crooked. "Show me," he said. Lisa pulled up the containment data on the big screen. The magnetic field readings were steady and strong. The antimatter particles glowed like tiny stars inside the containment chamber. "My God," Williams whispered. "How long has it been contained?" "Almost 7 hours now," Lisa said. "And it's still holding." Williams sat down heavily in a chair. He knew what this meant for humanity. For too long, alien races had looked down on humans as primitive. They called human technology cute and simple. The Zelkari Empire had even refused to let humans join their trade networks because their ships were too slow. "Can you build an engine?" Williams asked. "We think so," Kevin said. "But we'll need more resources, better equipment, and we'll need to test it." "You'll have whatever you need," Williams said. "Money is no object. This could change everything for our species." Over the next few weeks, the team worked day and night. They built a small test engine using the antimatter containment technology. The engine was no bigger than a car, but the power it could produce was incredible. The first test was scheduled for a Tuesday morning. Jake would pilot the test ship, a small craft built just for this experiment. Scientists from around the world had come to watch. Even some alien observers were there, though they looked bored and uninterested. Humans trying to play with real technology, one of the Zelkari observers said to his companion. "This should be amusing." Lisa ignored the alien's comment. She was too focused on the test to care about their opinions. She checked the antimatter containment one last time. Everything looked perfect. "Are you ready, Jake?" she asked over the radio. Jake sat in the pilot's seat of the test ship. His hands were steady on the controls, but his heart was racing. "Ready as I'll ever be." "Beginning engine startup," Lisa announced. The antimatter engine came to life with a soft hum. The power readings on the control panel climbed higher and higher. Soon, they were showing numbers that no human engine had ever reached. "Power output is incredible," Kevin said, watching his instruments. "This is 10 times more powerful than our best fusion engines." The alien observers stopped talking and started paying attention. Their own instruments were picking up the energy. Readings from the human ship. "That cannot be right," one of them said. "Their technology is too primitive." Jake felt the ship respond to his controls like nothing he had ever flown. The antimatter engine gave him power he had only dreamed of. When he pushed the throttle forward, the ship accelerated so fast that he was pressed back into his seat. "This is unbelievable," Jake said over the radio. "The response time is instant. The power is smooth and constant." Lisa and Kevin watched from the control room as Jake put the ship through its paces. Every test exceeded their expectations. The antimatter engine performed better than their best computer models had predicted. The alien observers were no longer looking bored. They were frantically checking their instruments and talking in excited whispers. "How are they generating that much power?" one of them asked. "It has to be a mistake," another replied. "No young species has ever mastered antimatter technology." But it was no mistake. After 3 hours of testing, the engine was still running perfectly. The antimatter fuel had barely been used. At this rate, the ship could run for months on a single fuel load. Jake brought the ship back to the landing pad. When he climbed out, he was grinning from ear to ear. "That was the best flight of my life," he said. "This engine is going to change everything." The alien observers gathered around Director Williams. They no longer looked dismissive. Instead, they looked worried. "Director Williams," the lead Zelkari said, "we would like to discuss your antimatter research. Perhaps our species could work together on this technology." Williams smiled. For the first time in his career, aliens were asking humans for help instead of the other way around. "We'll consider it," he said. "But first, we have some ships to build." As the sun set over the Nevada desert, Lisa stood outside the lab and looked up at the stars. Soon, human ships would be traveling between those stars faster than anyone had thought possible. The galaxy was about to discover that humanity was no longer the primitive species they had dismissed. The age of human antimatter technology had begun. Captain Jake Sullivan stood on the bridge of the USS Liberty, humanity's first antimatter-powered starship. 6 months had passed since the successful test in Nevada. Now, he was about to take the Liberty on its maiden voyage to the edge of the solar system. "All systems ready, Captain," said Commander Amy Foster from the engine room. She was the best engineer Earth had, and she knew the antimatter drive better than anyone. "Navigation is set for the outer system," reported Lieutenant Brad Cooper from his station. Course plotted for the asteroid belt and beyond. Jake looked out at the stars through the bridge windows. In a few hours, they would be farther from Earth than any human had ever traveled. The old fusion ships would have taken months to make this journey. Today, they would do it before lunch. "Ambassador Rodriguez, are you ready for our little demonstration?" Jake asked. Ambassador Elena Rodriguez sat in the observer's chair, her diplomatic uniform crisp and clean. She had been chosen to represent Earth if they met any alien ships during their test flight. "Ready, Captain," she said. "Though I hope we don't run into any trouble out there." Jake smiled. "Trouble is exactly what we're looking for. It's time." The galaxy saw what humans can really do. He turned to his crew. "All hands, prepare for antimatter drive engagement. Amy, bring us to half power." In the engine room, Amy Foster watched her instruments carefully. The antimatter containment field was perfect. The fuel mixture was exact. Everything was ready. "Antimatter drive engaged," she announced. "We have ignition." The Liberty surged forward with incredible speed. The stars outside began to blur as the ship accelerated past anything humans had ever achieved. Jake felt the power of the antimatter engine in every part of the ship. "Speed is increasing rapidly," Brad reported. "We're already faster than any human ship has ever gone." Within 2 hours, they had reached the asteroid belt. The journey that used to take weeks was now measured in hours. Jake was amazed by what they had accomplished. "Amy, how's the engine holding up?" he asked. "Perfect, Captain," came the reply. "Fuel consumption is minimal. We could keep this up for months." As they passed through the asteroid belt, Brad's instruments picked up something unexpected. "Captain, I'm detecting ships ahead," he said. "They're not human." Jake's pulse quickened. "How many?" "6 ships, sir. They're in formation. Looks like a patrol." Eleni Rodriguez leaned forward in her chair. "Can you identify them?" "Yes, ma'am. They're Zelkari Empire vessels. Heavy cruisers by the look of them." Jake knew about the Zelkari. They were one of the most powerful alien races in the galaxy. Their ships were fast and well armed. They also had a habit of treating humans like children. "Take us to meet them, Brad, but keep our speed down. Let's not scare them right away." The Liberty approached the Zelkari patrol at a reasonable pace. Jake wanted to seem peaceful, but he was ready for anything. "Incoming transmission," Brad announced. "Put it on screen." The main viewer flickered to life, showing a tall, blue-skinned alien in a military uniform. His eyes were cold, and his expression was bored. "Human vessel, this is High Admiral Vextar of the Zelkari Empire. You are traveling in restricted space. Turn around and return to your home system immediately." Jake stood up and faced the screen. "High Admiral, this is Captain Jake Sullivan of the Earth vessel USS Liberty. We're on a peaceful mission to test our new propulsion system." "We mean no harm." Vextar laughed, a harsh sound that echoed through the bridge. "New propulsion system? Humans barely managed to leave their own planet. What could you possibly have developed that would interest us? Perhaps you'd like to see for yourself." Jake said calmly. The alien's expression changed slightly. "I detect arrogance in your tone, human. That is not wise when speaking to the Zelkari Empire." "No arrogance, sir. Just confidence in our technology." Vextar's eyes narrowed. "Very well. I will inspect your primitive ship. Prepare to be boarded." Jake looked at Elena, who shook her head slightly. They had hoped to avoid direct contact, but it seemed unavoidable now. "I'm sorry, High Admiral, but we cannot allow boarding at this time. This is a test flight, and we have safety protocols to follow." The alien's face turned darker blue, a sign of anger in his species. "You refuse a direct order from the Zelkari. Empire, this is unacceptable." "It's not a refusal, sir. It's a polite decline. We're in international space, and we have the right to peaceful passage." Vextar turned to someone off-screen and spoke rapidly in his own language. When he looked back at Jake, his expression was hostile. "Human, you will submit to inspection or face the consequences. My ships are faster and more powerful than anything your species has ever built." Jake smiled. "That may have been true yesterday, Admiral, but today is a new day." He turned to Amy in the engine room. "Amy, I think it's time for our new friends to see what we can do. Bring us to full power." "Full power, Captain. Here we go." The Liberty's antimatter drive roared to life at maximum output. The ship shot forward so fast that the Zelkari Admiral was thrown back in his chair. On the Liberty's bridge, the crew felt the incredible acceleration pushed them into their seats. "Speed is incredible," Brad shouted over the engine noise. "We're moving faster than their sensors can track." The Zelkari ships tried to follow, but they were left behind in seconds. Their most advanced vessels looked like they were standing, still compared to the Liberty. "Admiral Vextar is trying to contact us," Brad reported. "He sounds very upset." "Put him through," Jake said. The alien's face appeared on screen again. This time, he looked shocked and confused. "What kind of drive are you using?" Vextar demanded. "Nothing should be able to move that fast." Jake decided to have a little fun. "Oh, this? This is just our standard antimatter drive. Nothing special." "Antimatter?" The alien's voice went quiet. "That's impossible. Antimatter containment is beyond your technological level." "Is it?" Jake asked. "Amy, let's show them our power output." Amy ran the antimatter drive through a series of tests. The energy readings were so high that the Zelkari ship's sensors couldn't measure them accurately. "Those readings cannot be correct," Vextar said, but his voice was uncertain now. "Your instruments must be malfunctioning." "Would you like us to demonstrate?" Jake asked. "We could race to the next system and back. Give you a chance to see what real speed looks like." The Zelkari admiral was quiet for a long moment. Jake could see him talking to his crew, their faces filled with concern. "Human captain," Vextar said finally, "where did you acquire this technology?" "We built it ourselves," Jake replied. "Turns out humans are pretty good at solving problems when we put our minds to it. That is unexpected," the alien admitted. "Elena." Rodriguez stood up and addressed the screen. "Admiral, I am Ambassador Elena Rodriguez, representing Earth's government. We hope this demonstration shows that humanity is ready to be treated as an equal partner in galactic affairs." Vextar looked at her with new respect. "Ambassador, I must report this encounter to my superiors. Your species has developed technology that changes many things." "We understand," Elena said. "We hope this leads to better relations between our peoples." The Zelkari admiral nodded slowly. "Perhaps it will, but I warn you, human captain, not all races in the galaxy will be pleased by your advancement. Some prefer to keep young species in their place." Jake felt a chill at the alien's words. "Are you threatening us, Admiral?" "No, Captain. I am warning you. What you have accomplished today will spread throughout the galaxy quickly. Be prepared for the consequences." The communication ended, leaving the Liberty's crew in thoughtful silence. "Well," Elena said after a moment, "that went better than expected." "Did it?" Jake asked. "The way he talked, it sounds like we just painted a target on our backs." Amy's voice came over the intercom from the engine room. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple ships jumping into the system. Long-range sensors show at least 20 vessels approaching our position." Jake looked at the tactical display. The new ships were from different alien races, all moving toward the Liberty's position. "It seems word travels fast in space," he said. "Brad, set course for Earth. Best speed." "Yes, sir." "Course laid in. Amy, give us everything the antimatter drive has got." The Liberty turned toward home and accelerated to speeds that defied belief. The pursuing alien ships fell behind so quickly that they disappeared from sensors within minutes dot as Earth grew larger on the view screen. Jake realized their lives had just changed forever. Humanity was no longer the weak, primitive species that aliens could ignore. They had real power now, and the galaxy was going to have to deal with it. "Amy, how much fuel did we use?" he asked. "Less than 5%, Captain. We could make this trip 20 more times on what we have left." Jake smiled. The aliens thought they had seen something impressive today. They had no idea what was coming next. The age of human power in the galaxy had begun. Admiral Karen Blake stood in the Earth Defense Command Center, watching dozens of screens showing activity across the galaxy. It had been 3 weeks since the Liberty's encounter with the Zelkari patrol. Since then, the galaxy had gone crazy. "Ma'am, we're getting reports from our listening posts," said Lieutenant Commander Tony Harris. "The alien communication networks are buzzing with talk about our antimatter technology." Karen nodded grimly. "What are they saying?" "It's not good, Admiral. The major powers are calling emergency sessions. They're scared." Dr. Lisa Morgan entered the command center, looking tired but determined. She had been working non-stop to build more antimatter engines since the Liberty's successful test. "Karen, we need to talk," Lisa said. "The situation is getting worse." "Admiral." Blake turned from the screens. "What have you heard?" "My contacts in the scientific community are picking up chatter from alien researchers. They're demanding to know how we achieved antimatter containment. Some are calling it impossible." "Good," said General Rick Stone, walking up to join them. "Let them wonder. Maybe they'll think twice before trying to push us around." Karen wasn't so sure. "Rick, scared aliens might be more dangerous than confident ones. What's the status of our new ship construction?" "We have 12 antimatter vessels under construction," Lisa reported, "but they won't be ready for at least 2 months." "That might not be fast enough," Karen said. "Our intelligence reports suggest the major powers are planning something big." As if summoned by her words, Lieutenant Commander Harris approached with a worried expression. "Admiral, we're receiving a formal communication from the Galactic Council. It's addressed to Earth's government." Karen took the message tablet and read it quickly. Her face grew dark as she read. "What does it say?" Rick asked. "They're demanding that we share our antimatter technology with the galaxy. They claim it's too dangerous for one species to control alone." Lisa laughed bitterly. "Too dangerous? They've been keeping us out of their technology exchanges for decades. Now they want to share? It gets worse." Karen continued reading. "They're giving us 30 days to comply. If we don't, they'll implement economic sanctions and consider military action." General Stone's face turned red with anger. "Military action? Are they threatening to attack Earth?" "That's exactly what they're doing," Karen said. "The message is signed by representatives from the Zelkari Empire, the Thraxi Confederation, and the Mentari Republic, the 3 biggest powers in the galaxy." Dr. Morgan sat down heavily in a chair. "They're forming an alliance against us." "That's never happened before." "It's happening now," Karen said. "The question is, what do we do about it?" Captain Jake Sullivan's voice came over the intercom. "Admiral Blake, the Liberty is requesting permission to dock. We've completed our reconnaissance mission." "Granted, Captain. Report to the briefing room immediately." 20 minutes later, Jake entered the briefing room with Commander Amy Foster and Lieutenant Brad Cooper. They all looked grim. "What did you find out there?" Karen asked. "It's bad." "Admiral," Jake said, "we detected massive fleet movements from all 3 major powers. They're gathering ships near the edge of our solar system." "How many ships?" General Stone asked. "At least 500 from the Zelkari Empire. The Thraxi have around 300. The Mentari Republic sent about 400 more." Amy Foster added, "Their ships are positioning themselves at jump points around our system. They're preparing for something big." Karen felt her stomach drop. Over 1,000 ships. That's the largest fleet ever assembled in this part of the galaxy. "There's more," Jake continued. "We intercepted some of their communications. They're not just planning to blockade us. They're preparing for a full invasion if we don't surrender." "Our technology." Lisa Morgan stood up quickly. "How long do we have?" "Based on their movements, maybe 2 weeks before they're in position." Brad reported. General Stone slammed his fist on the table. 2 weeks? We only have 1 operational antimatter ship." "Actually, we have more than that," Lisa said with a Slight smile. I've been working around the clock with the construction teams. We can have 6 ships ready in 1 week. Karen looked hopeful. 6 ships against over 1,000? That's still impossible odds, is it? Amy Foster asked. Admiral, you didn't see what the Liberty could do out there. We outran their entire patrol fleet, like they were standing still. Jake nodded. Amy's right. 1 Liberty could probably handle 50 of their ships. 6 Liberty-class vessels might be enough. Might be isn't good enough, Karen said. We need to be certain. Lisa's eyes lit up. I have an idea. What if we don't fight them at all? Everyone looked at her with confusion. Explain, Karen said. What? If we demonstrate our technology so clearly that they realize fighting us is pointless? Show them that we have power beyond their ability to counter? General Stone looked skeptical. You want to scare them off? Exactly. If we can show them that attacking us would be suicide, they might back down. Karen thought about it. That's risky. If the demonstration fails, we've revealed our capabilities and given them time to prepare. But if it works, Jake said, we avoid a war that could destroy both sides. Over the next week, Earth shipyards worked at maximum capacity. The 6 new antimatter vessels were completed in record time. Each one was equipped with the most advanced engines and weapons that human technology could produce. The USS Liberty was joined by the USS Freedom, USS Independence, USS Courage, USS Defiance, and USS Vengeance. Together, they formed humanities. First Antimatter Fleet Captain Jake Sullivan was promoted to Fleet Captain and given command of the entire squadron. Each ship was crewed by Earth's best officers and engineers. Fleet Captain Sullivan, Admiral Blake said during the final briefing, your mission is to meet the alien fleet and demonstrate our capabilities. Avoid fighting if possible, but be prepared to defend Earth if necessary. Understood, Admiral? Jake replied. We'll make them see that humanity is not the same species they've been pushing around. As the 6 antimatter ships prepared to depart, Dr. Lisa Morden made final checks on their engines. Each ship carried enough antimatter fuel to run for months at maximum power. Amy, she said to Commander Foster, remember what we learned from the Liberty's first flight. These engines can do things that physics says should be impossible. Use that to your advantage. Amy nodded. Don't worry, Doctor. We'll show them what human engineering can accomplish. The 6 ships launched from Earth, orbit and accelerated toward the edge of the solar system. Their antimatter drives pushed them to speeds that no alien vessel could match. Within hours, they detected the massive alien fleet waiting for them. Over 1,200 ships from 3 different species, all armed and ready for battle. Fleet Captain, reported the communications officer, we're receiving a transmission from the alien fleet commander. It's High Admiral Vexstar. Jake smiled. Our old friend from the Zelkari Empire. Put him through. The alien appeared on screen, looking more serious than before. Fleet Captain Sullivan, I am surprised to see you again. You are greatly outnumbered. Are we? Jake asked. I count 6 human ships and 1,200 alien vessels. Seems like fair odds to me. Vexstar's expression showed confusion. Fair odds? Captain, you cannot be serious. Oh, I'm very serious, Admiral. Would you like to see what 6 antimatter ships can do? Behind Jake, the crews of all 6 ships prepared for the demonstration that would change the galaxy forever. They were about to show the universe that humanity was no longer a species to be underestimated. The real test of human power was about to begin. Fleet Captain Jake Sullivan looked out at the massive alien armada spread across space before him. 1,200 ships from 3 of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations, all pointed at his small fleet of 6 human vessels. Sir, reported Lieutenant Brad Cooper from the communications station, High Admiral Vexstar is demanding our immediate surrender. He says we have 1 hour to power down our weapons and prepare to be boarded. Jake turned to Commander Amy Foster, who was monitoring the antimatter engines from the Liberty's bridge. Amy, how are our power levels? All 6 ships are running at optimal efficiency, she replied. Antimatter containment is perfect across the fleet. We have enough power to run at maximum output for weeks. Captain Ryan Murphy's voice came over the fleet communication system from the USS Defiance. Jake, their targeting systems are locking. Onto our ships. They're getting ready to fire. Let them target us, Jake said calmly. Nicole, what's the status of our shield systems? Captain Nicole Davis answered from the USS Vengeance. All ships have antimatter-powered shields at full strength. We're ready for whatever they throw at us. Jake opened a channel to all 6 ships. Fleet commanders, this is what we've been training for. We're not here to start a war, but we're going to finish one. Show them what human technology can do. High Admiral Vextar appeared on the main screen again. His blue skin was darker now, showing his anger. Captain Sullivan, you have 5 minutes to surrender. After that, my fleet will open fire. Admiral, Jake said politely, I think you're making a mistake. You're about to attack ships that are far more advanced than anything your species has ever built. Impossible, Vextar replied. Your species is barely out of its home system. You cannot have technology superior to the combined might of 3 galactic powers. Would you like me to prove it? Jake asked. The alien admiral's eyes narrowed. You have 2 minutes, Jake smiled. I only need 1. He turned to his crew. Amy, take us to full power. All ships, prepare for speed demonstration. The 6 human ships suddenly blazed with energy. Their antimatter drives produced power readings that made the alien sensors scream warnings. The energy output was so high that several alien ships had to adjust their instruments. Impossible, Vextar whispered, staring at his own readings. No ship can generate that much power. This is just the beginning, Jake said. All ships execute pattern Alpha. The 6 human vessels suddenly shot forward. With incredible speed, they moved so fast that the alien targeting systems couldn't track them. Within seconds, the human ships had circled the entire alien fleet twice. How are they moving so fast? Came panicked voices from the alien command channels. The USS Freedom, commanded by Captain Linda Mitchell, performed a series of impossible maneuvers. She flew between the massive alien battleships, missing them by mere meters while traveling at speeds that should have been deadly. Their inertial dampeners should be failing, Admiral Vextar said, his voice filled with confusion. No crew can survive those acceleration forces. Our crews are doing just fine, Jake replied. Would you like to see what else we can do? The USS Independence, under Captain Mark Johnson, demonstrated the agility of human antimatter technology. The ship spun and twisted through space in patterns that defied physics, showing perfect control at impossible speeds. This is getting their attention, Captain Johnson reported. Half their fleet is trying to get targeting locks on us. The other half is just staring. Jake opened a channel to the alien fleet. Admiral Vextar, are you ready for the next demonstration? The alien admiral's voice was quiet now. What are you? We're humans, Jake said simply. And we're not the primitive species you thought we were. Suddenly, the alien fleet opened fire. Thousands of energy weapons lit up space as the combined alien armada unleashed everything they had at the 6 human ships. Shields up, Jake commanded. The antimatter-powered shields around each human ship blazed to life. The alien weapons struck the shields with tremendous force, but the defensive systems held easily. The energy from the alien attack was absorbed and dispersed harmlessly. Shields holding at 98%, Amy reported. The antimatter reactors are barely working to maintain them. Jake was amazed. The most powerful fleet in the galaxy had just fired everything they had, and it hadn't even vented the human shields. "Admiral Vexstar," Jake said calmly, "was that your best shot?" The alien admiral was staring at his instruments in shock. "Your shields ... They absorbed our entire fleet's firepower." "How is that possible?" "Antimatter technology," Jake explained. "The same energy that powers our engines protects our ships." "Would you like us to return fire?" "No," Vexstar said quickly. "There is no need for more violence." But Jake wasn't done with the demonstration. "Ryan, your turn." Captain Ryan Murphy in the USS Defiance moved forward from the human formation. His ship approached the center of the alien fleet, moving slowly and deliberately. All alien ships. "This is Captain Murphy of the USS Defiance. I'm going to show you what one human ship can do." The Defiance positioned itself in the exact center of the alien formation. 1,200 enemy ships surrounded it, their weapons trained on the lone human vessel. "Fire antimatter pulse," Ryan commanded. The USS Defiance released a controlled burst of antimatter energy. The pulse spread outward in all directions, washing over every alien ship in the fleet. The energy was carefully controlled to disable systems without destroying the ships. Within seconds, every alien vessel in the fleet was dead in space. Their engines were offline, their weapons were disabled, and their shields were down. The single human ship had neutralized the entire alien armada without firing a single destructive shot. "Impossible," Vexstar whispered. "One ship disabled our entire fleet." "Not disabled," Jake corrected. "Just temporarily powered down. Your systems will restart in about an hour. We wanted to show you our capabilities, not destroy you." The alien admiral was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke again, his voice was filled with respect and fear. "Captain Sullivan, I have never seen technology like this. How did your species develop such advanced capabilities?" "We worked hard," Jake said. "We studied, we experimented, and we never gave up. That's what humans do when we're challenged." "I must report this to my superiors," Vexstar said. "This changes everything." "Yes, it does," Jake agreed. "The galaxy is going to have to accept that humanity is no longer a minor species. We have real power now, and we're going to use it to protect ourselves and our allies." Captain Nicole Davis's voice came over the fleet channel. "Jake, we're detecting more ships jumping into the system. Looks like reinforcements from other alien races." Jake looked at the tactical display. Dozens of new ships were arriving, drawn by reports of the battle. Ships from races that had never worked together before were coming to see what had happened. "Let them come," Jake said. "The more witnesses, the better. We want the entire galaxy to know that humanity is a force to be respected." The 6 human ships regrouped in formation, their antimatter drives humming with power. Around them, the disabled alien fleet drifted helplessly in space, a testament to the incredible advancement of human technology. "Admiral Vexstar," Jake said, "I suggest you contact your government. Tell them that humanity is ready to negotiate as equals. We're not interested in conquest, but we won't be pushed around anymore." "I will deliver your message," the alien admiral replied. "But I warn you, Captain, not all species will accept this new reality peacefully. Then they'll learn the hard way," Jake said. "Just like you did?" As the alien fleet slowly began to restart their systems, news of the demonstration spread across the galaxy at light speed. The age of human dominance had begun, and the universe would never be the same. The 6 antimatter ships turned toward Earth, their mission complete. Behind them, they left a galaxy that would have to completely rethink humanity's place in the cosmic order. The demonstration was over. The real work of building a new galactic order was just beginning. 6 months after the demonstration at the edge of the solar system, Earth looked very different. Ships.